What up, y'all? This your man Dream Motivates. I'm here with the Fiji twins. What's going on? YBME. Yeah. Listen, overwhelming response. Thank you guys for all the love on the YBME podcast. Yes. Such an amazing situation. Thank you for everybody who came out to the event.
Yes.
And listen, we're about to go into it. This one, this may sting a little bit for some of those who have been in a toxic relationship, and we're going to talk about it. First of all, G, you definitely going to have to go ahead and spearhead
well,
this
hold
one.
on, the last time we were in here crying.
Yeah.
So this time, I think really the conversation's about just awareness.
So let's identify
Toxic.
What would you say?
Me, from our, again, personal experiences. Personal experience, I think, could be from a work relationship. It could be with a partner. It could be family member. And even sometimes your acquaintances, right? Just people you surround yourself with, a circle of people. And it's negative energy. It's bad energy. It's just a lot of drama. It's narcissism. It's a lot of control. It's a lot of, I call them haters at sometimes, or just very negative energy around you. And a lot of times those types of, I guess, energies can bring the room down. And so for me personally, I've been in both a toxic relation. I've been in several toxic relationships, but also toxic also existed in my family with my mom and my relationship. It also existed in the workplace for me. I mean, it's existed with my own children. So I have an array of toxic, and sometimes I'm like, well, shit, is it me? Yeah. Because sometimes it's like, am I? Because sometimes when you're surrounding yourself with that much, it's like, dang, am I the issue?
Yeah.
But I think that when you get to a place and understand that everybody has different ways of sharing their emotions. And just because I may not understand them doesn't make me any better than them.
Yeah.
But I also understand that we were all brought up differently.
Yeah.
And I can speak on, and I know Fee will probably talk a little bit about this later, my relationship with my mom. There was an expectation I had of her. Nobody has a book of how to raise kids.
Right.
Nobody has a book of how to be the best mom. And what is the best mom, right? We don't know what that looks like.
Correct.
We just see other kids and what their mommies are doing, and we think, well, that's what we want, right? We're trying to emulate that.
Yeah.
And when you go through life trying to emulate what somebody else has, that's where you get messed up.
Because then you start setting out expectations.
You're setting expectations. And for me, that's really where it started. I'm gonna just talk about me.
Go ahead, girl. You got it.
My relationship with my mom.
Go
ahead.
The floor is yours. Now, before we deep dive into that, I want to address, let's play a cool game real quick.
Okay.
Because I want to, even me, I want to, like from my sisters, I had to
Hold
help
on,
me.
before we go any further, I'm sorry to cut you off, but can we get our YBME fatigues?
Yes.
Because I see you all geared up, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute,
they
sir.
coming.
Okay, sorry. My bad.
Gotcha. Yes. That's the military brat over there.
Okay.
But, so I think before we go into where it came from the YBME for you guys, for our viewers and everybody else that's probably like me, they may be in a toxic situation and they don't know it. Or they might have a toxic relationship and they don't know it. So let's do a rapid fire. You know how you look up a dictionary, look up the definition, but you don't understand until you see the example?
Well, so I should have looked up the definition first of that type of person. I can only go based off my experiences. A lot of times those type of people are never wrong. There's no accountability. It's their way, no way, and you just suck it up because you have to follow their beliefs, or they make every effort to try to convince you to believe what they're saying. And not only it can be very emotionally draining because they're constantly being so negative and calling you all kinds of names and you're not shit and you're this and you're that. When you know you're a good person, and this goes across the board, relationships, my own child, I've gone through it all. Even at work, being around people who are just so envious of you. So it's just these are really negative people who feel entitled, who think that they are superior, and that I don't want to call them bullies, but they're just in a place where there's a lot of pain, or they just don't know that they are hurting people.
Are you at the point right now where you're able to identify it?
I can.
You can? Let me ask you a question. She said,
I can.
So what's the difference? All right, here we go. Question number one.
Okay, go.
What's the difference between jealous and envy?
I think jealousy is more of a negative term versus envy. Envy is like, oh man, I wish I could have that, or one day I'll have that. Where jealous is like, that whatever ain't shit. It's because
it's confrontational.
It becomes very confrontational, negative energy.
Gotcha.
Envy is like, in my mind, they are probably similar words. It's just kind of a interchangeable, but I would say I
envy people who travel a lot. One day I'm going to do that. One day I'm going to be in a position to do that, right? Jealous, if I was jealous of somebody, I'd probably be speaking negative about that person, like, oh my gosh, that
to his hater.
She thinks she's that or whatever.
Okay.
There becomes negative notation.
One too more core drinks
with that.
You had too many core drinks.
Yeah.
Haterade.
Okay.
Core.
No, but I'm just saying jealousy can more be of a negative notation when you're speaking about someone
in a negative way.
So that's a sign of a toxic person. They're jealous.
Very negative.
And they're negative for no reason. Now you mentioned narcissistic. What would you say that would be?
Compulsive liar. They're always lying, and they manipulate a situation where they make it more. It can be more about them. For instance, you can say, let's say relationship. I saw the number. I saw the text. You don't know what you're talking about. That's my cousin. But I saw the naked picture. She lost weight. I mean, everything they have an answer for. And it's like they really, really, really want you to believe what you just saw, right? They could be just...
Was it the OnlyFans? Are they subscribing to the OnlyFans? Like, what is going on? I mean,
probably Harry Hines, girl. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I think that when it comes to just toxic relationships, it's just beware, because I think that everybody has their own limitations.
Yeah.
And when you start feeling like you're being disrespected and not valued, and somebody is emotionally but understand that emotional abuse can ultimately become very physical.
All right, so I put out like the top 10 traits.
Okay.
And then y'all tell me y'all feedback
yes or no?
if y'all agree with this or not. Number one was lack of trust.
Yes. That's
Would
true.
y'all agree? Would you agree with that's a toxic situation? All right, controlling behavior.
That's like number one, but yes.
Okay, controlling. Constant criticism.
Yes.
So what's interesting to me is that when you say controlling, some people actually like that behavior because they feel like that's a way of someone displaying their love for someone, controlling. Like, oh, he really just
So that's
cares,
their love language
cares.
to be controlling?
It can be. What
Gotcha.
you're going through your list are probably all going to be yes, right? But for some people in the world, because I know I'm guilty for it, where controlling to me, when someone was checking on me every day, I thought that was a love language. Like, oh, he just loves me. We're no longer together.
It's one thing to say, hey, babe, where you at? And oh, babe, I'm at the mall, whatever. But it's another thing for you to tell this person that you're going to the mall and they call you 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Knowing exactly where you're at. To me, that's a different type.
Some people I took it as, they're just worried about my whereabouts. They want to know where I'm at all the time. Like, I love that.
But see, that's good. Because, like I said, some people might not know that they're in a toxic situation.
It's just like, they love me.
Number 4, manipulation.
Yes.
Number 5, lack of communication. They also have a lack there.
Need to know basis.
Yeah. Number 6, jealousy and possessiveness.
Yes.
7, emotional or physical abuse.
Yes.
8, walking on eggshells.
Yes, I was there.
She's like, yes, and yes.
I'm gonna put a big ass X check mark.
Some of those things you said, I'm like, I mean, I would have just.
And I'm listening for Fee's like, yeah,
eggshells.
Fee's like,
I know I've had people on eggshells because I know how I am. How I'm like, give me my space, but I know how I operate.
But toxic comes in all levels. We understand that.
So I may be a toxic person.
So if that's you, then that's you.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what we're saying, because I tend to look.
Hey, feel her feeling. Feel her feeling. Is this an intervention?
Is this me? Is this an intervention? What just happened? The roles have left turned. I'm like, wait.
Yes, actually, this podcast is actually about me.
Yeah,
we need you to help
she needs intervention. It was actually about you.
Help. Yes. Well, y'all, thank y'all for being out here and giving me all this love. But some of that stuff you just talking about, I'm like, wait. Some of that is some of the stuff. I don't walk on eggshells, but I've been told that because sometimes, with my mental health, sometimes I cause.
Here's a breakdown. So walking on eggshells, feeling anxious about how the other person will react to minor issues, fearing an outburst or argument.
Fee doesn't fear. Fee, I'm gonna tell you this. Fee does not fear.
I don't give a fuck.
I'm gonna say this,
but I love love though.
I think Fee, only because I know her as my sister, she's acknowledged that she has triggers, right?
Yeah.
She has acknowledged that she's self-work and that there's things that she needs to work on. I think that when we talk about toxic people, they see no wrong about themselves.
They can't even see it.
It's always the other person in their life. It's somebody else.
You know what? I'm the first one to always try to, it's on me.
So acknowledgement, right?
Just accountability.
Accountability.
Like, okay, I'm gonna say this to all my young bulls out there, my brothers. To me, if your household is in disarray, it's on you.
I believe that.
Like,
I believe that.
It's just and it sucks. I know I'm gonna get it in the comments, whatever, but it's just real because I just go to the Bible, bro. That's what the Bible says. We're the head of the house. The woman is the heart of the house. So you have to protect the house. And, if your wife is not in a good space, then figure it out. Like, why? Like, for instance, one time me and my wife, man, we're real. She's so cool, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when I came home one day, she was like 8 months pregnant and with my son. Mm-hmm. And so I'm working. I'm like, my son on his way. So I'm triple going in. I'm like in, out, in, out. So I had this bad habit of coming in, just kicking off my shoes. Boom, boom, boom. I'm still on the phone trying to work it out.
If you don't pick these shoes up and put
exactly. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Everything has a place.
I'm kicking my shoes off, and I got this little pile of, like, I just take off my stuff in this little pile. Sir. But I don't see
That's bachelor crib mentality.
Yeah, I don't see
or
it.
single life.
I don't see it. I don't see it. All I'm seeing is these bills coming, my son coming.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I see.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not no dirty dude. You know what I'm saying? But I just wasn't seeing it. So I come home one day and she's it's right before Mother's Day, so it's her first Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, hey baby, good? And she's doing the dishes. And I'm like, you all right? She said, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
She wasn't.
Y'all know how that go.
Yeah.
That's
I'm good. An underlining, like,
and
I was like,
she's listening to music because music tells it all.
Yeah, no.
If you listen to music, I hear. Well, I can attest to that. Sometimes people.
Or she could have been slamming cabinets in the kitchen.
Oh, did she slam cabinets?
No, it was just a nonchalant. I'm good. Gave me my little kiss. I'm good. And
she was really pissed.
And I'm like, yeah, I know.
Or irritated.
Good. She was irritated.
So I'm like, what's wrong? And you know how y'all are sometimes. Like, nothing. I'm good. So, and I said it to her.
That's because we pick our battles.
Had she already said something to you about it though in the past?
No. Okay. No, not really.
No, that's where we're lost because she probably had, but you just didn't interpretate it.
She has, but it wasn't like a big deal, right?
In your mind,
right? It wasn't a big like. She didn't like. Why you?
But she said something, so you didn't take it serious.
Put your shoes up when you come in.
Exactly.
Yourself?
So yeah.
You didn't.
So this is like talking to the kids. Unless we thump the shit out of y'all,
right? Right. I'm like, dang. And so
just went over your head.
I'm sitting there asking. So about the 4th time, I said, now, you know me, right? I'm going to stay in this kitchen next to you until you tell me. So I'm not tripping. I'm going to keep asking.
But that says a lot about you because you paid attention to her behavior.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like, yo, I need you to be good. Like,
hats off to you.
You 8 months of the game. We fit to What's going on?
You didn't blame it on her hormones, did you?
No, I don't do all that.
Okay, good.
Because I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I can't blame something I don't understand.
Yeah.
So I didn't understand. Good. But this is what happened. So she's like, babe, look, first of all, and I love how she did it. She broke it down. She's like, first of all, I know you're busy. Mm-hmm. I thank you for providing for us. Thank you for being a great husband. I don't want to. She's like, I'm just tired of.
But.
You know, you always leave your stuff out.
Just help me help you.
You know, can you just help? You know, kind of help clean up a little bit.
Yeah.
And man, I just felt like,
yeah,
because I'm a winner.
Yeah.
I like winning.
Yeah.
At that second, I was losing.
Yeah.
And I don't like losing.
Yeah.
I said, all right, babe, it won't happen again.
Right? Yeah.
So here comes Mother's Day, and like she goes out to brunch with her mom. And it was a Saturday. She went out to brunch. It was the next Saturday she went out to brunch. Matter of fact, this happened on Thursday. Saturday morning, she went to brunch.
Yeah.
And I called my partner, and I remember I was on him about like, you think you all that because you got a house cleaner. Who you think you are?
Yeah.
I called my man Saturday. I called him Friday night. I was like, yo, what's the house cleaner's number?
Yeah, I love that.
I need the number, 911.
Yeah. Yes.
So I called her, and her name was Miss Lucy. Mm-hmm. So Miss Lucy was like, yeah, okay, but I got somebody come in on Saturday, but I can't do it. But I can expedite it for an additional fee.
I love it.
I'm like, dang. All right, how much? And she told me how much. I was like, yo. And she said for deep cleaning, that's how much it is.
Oh,
but
yeah, I've had that, yeah.
if you keep coming back, I'll make it be cheap.
Yeah.
I said, I don't care. Come on.
Yeah.
So she came in, and I said, don't come until 10, because her mom picked up at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
So she picked up.
Oh, so you surprised her.
10 o'clock.
That's
from 10
awesome.
o'clock. So she told me, leave.
Yeah.
Go, leave.
Yeah.
Come back at 12.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I left, came back at 12. Man, when I tell you,
yeah,
it looked like the Hiltons.
Yeah. No, I love that.
Like
love
the
that.
tissue had little,
little
and
angels.
Guess what?
But for the, I mean, I know it's probably costly, but those are little things to women that matter that you paid attention.
And I just didn't want to. I wanted to salt. So she came in.
Yeah.
Her favorite meal is Papacitos. Got the Papacitos. Her and the mom came in, and she was like, "Oh my God!"
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
But for me, I was winning at this point. I was losing.
Yeah.
For my young brothers out there, I just want y'all to know that if your household is in a disarray, it's up to us to defuse it.
Right. And I want to just be clear. You're a good one, right? There are good men out there. We are not going to sit here and bash. Well, I'm not going to sit here and bash men because I know God has somebody out there for me.
Yeah.
However, I'm talking or I'm relating to the people, this is men and women, people in your lives who just don't get it.
Yeah.
They don't understand they're the cancer.
Yeah.
They don't recognize that they cause pain.
Yeah.
They're just
pain
not.
hurts. Or what is it when someone's hurt? They continue to hurt.
Misery
others.
loves company. In a sense.
Yeah.
So if they are not accountable or holding themselves accountable, they will never go. They'll go through life, continue to hurt the next person.
And I'm not saying that relationships don't have storms, because I've been in those types of relationships too. But it gets to a point where the relationship shouldn't always be like this. There should be some kind of sunshine coming.
Well, so, G, to your point, it's not just with.
It's friendships. It's
what is it? Companionship.
Yeah, it's friendships. It's kids.
Family. It could be someone just having a liking of someone's personality, but then it becomes toxic. Someone's too. What is it? Where they attach, like they're
needy,
just very needy.
Yeah.
There's a word for it, and it's not healthy for anyone.
It's not.
You know, but again, that person may not even understand that they're even going through that. I think it's just more of an awareness. I mean,
and
honestly,
that's what I want, because a lot of people are not aware.
Mm-hmm. It's an awareness.
Number 8, unequal effort.
Yeah.
Number 10, lack of support. I'm going to say this. In my opinion, if you're with somebody and you're dating them and you have already got into argument by month 3, flag on the play.
Shoot, after 2 weeks. Pay attention. When they raise their voice at you, it's only going to get worse.
It's flag on the play.
When they show you early on, I mean, some women we think I thought it was cute, like, okay, baby, I'm sorry, but no, this it's only going to escalate because there's going to be a level of expectation that they're trying to train you to be something that they emulate, that they want, desire, and unfortunately, some women will convert, and that's where they get stuck. There's other women that struggle with converting, and that's why there's always this friction in that relationship, because nobody wants to give in.
You mean like being submissive?
Yeah.
Girl, bye.
See?
So, on another note. on another note.
There's nothing wrong with a woman being submissive.
Let me say this. There is nothing wrong with a woman being submissive. And it's for everyone to each its own. You'll find
But on her terms.
It's whose terms?
On the woman's terms. If she feels like she's in a safe relationship, because there's things that women look for in relationships. A lot of them is all the same: safety, financial security, sometimes father, husband, whatever. There's things that women want, desire in relationships. If they get the majority out of that, they will. I mean, you become submissive because you feel like this is the one. You don't get in a relationship to think that that's not going to be the one.
Yeah.
So we think that hopeful that this is going to be the one.
Here's the thing. Here's my opinion. My opinion is a woman should be submissive, and a husband should be. A man should be submissive. So we're submitting
to each other.
Right?
I think it's just a wrong choice of words.
You just don't like it's a trigger word.
It is. It's got to be.
Girl, what is it? When you submit, what are they going to do?
Because once upon a time when I was in a toxic relationship, a person, they would always say, "I'm supposed to." It's in the Bible, and that drove me crazy, because when I did it, it wasn't like, it was all around sex. You're supposed to do it when I asked. It became a chore.
Yeah.
And so that's, for me, I don't play with that word. If I choose to, if I want to be here, I'll be here. And I'm telling me, I promise you, you will have all of me. But if I choose not to be, then you get none of me. So I just say submissive is a I just think it's not a good word anymore. Not what it.
What's the word to replace?
How about all in?
All in. All in.
It's the same word.
No.
It is.
That's just like jealousy. Jealousy.
The
word jealousy.
If a man says, "So, Mom, I'm gonna need you to submit," boy, if you don't get up out of here.
No, but
so if you say, "Love, if you want me all in," you might.
That's a man that doesn't understand how to communicate.
Well,
he doesn't need to say it.
But you're
like
also
that.
talking about there's a different mentality with men who talk crazy and feel like they're entitled, and we'll talk to women like that.
And there are women out there that still like the word or understand in a biblically way submissive, and I get that. I understand that term. It doesn't work for me.
See, the submissive. Okay, so it's
how about just let it happen naturally?
Yeah, and it's not because I have a daughter. First of all,
yeah.
So me and Jada, we've had.
Do y'all talk about the word submissive?
Absolutely.
And
if she was somebody dating somebody and he asked her, if we decide to, court.
You're submitting to me?
Do you know that you're going to be submitting to me? Would you be okay with that?
Here's the thing. It's an equal thing.
Yes or no?
Right?
Yes or no?
If he treats her the right way.
Okay, that part.
But he can use the word submit?
Yeah. He can.
There's no way.
It is. I'm cool with that. If he treats her like a queen. The thing about
hold on. If a woman feels like she's being treated like a queen,
submit is not even going to be.
She's all in. She's going to take care of her man.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
The word doesn't even have to be said. It's what's you know what I mean.
But the woman would know that. She would know her place. She would know her place. She would be like, "Baby, can I rub your feet?" She would be all in. I get what you're saying, Fee.
Girl, stop with the submit.
But
there are men who use poor choices of word and also see women as just a toy.
A toy.
Yeah. No,
and they're not emotionally inclined. They just do what they want.
And that's toxic.
Yeah.
And that's toxic.
Yeah.
And so we got to just be aware of that to me, you know what I'm saying? Because you're right. You have to earn to be able to submit. Like, I submit
and people
to my
who are
wife.
toxic don't trust at all.
You have to earn to be all in.
Yes.
But people who are toxic, you have to earn their trust, and they don't trust.
I don't want people to believe that you don't submit, love. Like, it's all in or you're not.
He's not asking you to get on your knees. I mean, Fia, do they ask you to get
so no one asked me to get on my knees. Let the record show that nobody asked me to get on my knees. And again, if I'm all in, I'm all in.
we got to get a YBME shirt that says submit.
No, we will not. No, we will not.
Jeez, Fee.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Did you know this was a trigger word for her?
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
submit.
That's bad.
Carter has never said that word to me.
Carter's not crazy.
Yeah.
That's on the record. Carter's not crazy.
Shout out to bro.
Thank you, baby, for understanding me.
Carter for dealing with all this.
Yeah.
It's really not a lot.
Sheesh.
Toxic over here to the right.
Hey,
shout out to the toxic.
I love you.
Toxic twin.
I love you.
Golly. No, but okay. So okay. Number one, we're trying to identify. We have identified somewhat for you guys, and let's go into rolling out your guys. your relationships. I know you've had some.
Yeah.
And you was about to talk about
my mom
stemming from your mother.
Yeah, only because my mom did not know how to love, so I had expectation just because what I saw other girlfriends or in school or whatever.
She watched the Cosbys.
Shout out to the Cosbys.
I don't know, man. A lot of us out here just
love
now, hold on. A lot of us out misconstrue a whole lot.
Now, hold on. Was Claire submissive?
Yes.
She was.
She loved Bill.
She was.
But she had a strong personality.
Oh, yeah, she didn't play.
But she was all in. She was all in. She wasn't submissive.
Lord.
She was all in. She's with a little cute face, and she would just smile and okay.
Man, I wanted that's what I want the Cosby show.
Right.
They were perfect.
It was great, but
Dang,
that's not
perfect.
life.
Nah, you're definitely gonna catch it.
Oh yeah.
So some of the stuff.
Oh yeah. So my mom,
MJ.
I had to later understand that what I was looking for, yearning for from my mom. How am I going to have expectations of her to show me this type of love when she had never really been loved like that, right? So they didn't even say love. They didn't hug. They weren't nurturing. They weren't really a compassionate family. She had there's 11 of them.
Do you know your love language?
Oh, I just Googled this the other day. Mine is physical.
Really? Mm-hmm. So you like somebody holding your hand?
I like somebody just showing affection.
Like,
whether it's
you
slap
like
me on my
PDA?
ass. Huh?
You like PDA?
Did you say slap you on the ass?
Yeah.
I'm talking if I'm washing dishes because I don't cook. But if I'm washing dishes or whatever, if I'm bending over in the dryer, just boom.
Yeah.
Just get me. I'm like, okay, all right. Meet me in the room.
So you're just letting the world know.
Now, don't beat the shit out of me, but I do.
Yeah, just a little tap,
don't
little tap.
throw me in the dryer.
I love tap.
Right, little tap. Little tap.
I love tap.
Just do a love. Or come behind me, and just, kiss me on my neck.
So are you a pull my hair girl?
I could be, but I love affection. I love affection.
Okay.
I that's something I yearn and I don't get.
So if you dating and
here's what's crazy.
If dude holds your hand.
Oh, I love it. I enjoy it. I'm proud. Usually
now,
when I'm in
you like knuckling like this, or you just
first of all, when I'm in a relationship, I'm proud to be with you. Or else I would not be with you. I definitely would not be out with you if I didn't feel like you were presentable. And so, yeah, you're my dude. I'm gonna hold your hand. I'm gonna hug you. I'm gonna hold you. I'm gonna hug
down
you.
The beach with her hand in his pocket and his hand in her pocket. I love it.
Who bitch had my hand? That's a future view because
wow.
It's happening, girl.
Oh
no, speak it to the universe. Put it in the universe, girl. We're getting this. We're gonna have it.
So I'm gonna be at the beach with a dude,
and because you're such a physical, you're gonna have your hand in his pocket.
I don't want to be at the beach. He might drown me.
That's that.
Let's start slow.
That's that real.
Let's start slow.
Trigger for you?
Slow. Yes,
you in this water.
I've been seeing people like that. I'd be like, yeah, they just met.
Yeah.
What if I run down the beach and he leap up and he catches me and then just
like
fall?
Baywatch?
Yeah,
and he just lets you go.
Or we could do it in the water, girl.
So is it just that? Is it just physical?
No, actually, I learned that I'm 4 of the 5. I don't need affirmation. That's one thing I don't care because I do what I do naturally. That's just in my spirit. Whatever I feel like, I want to do. I consider myself romantic. I do little things, whether it's little rose petals or little cards.
Okay.
I like wow factors, so I want to surprise my man, and I'll purchase roses, lay them on the bed, put the heart. I love stuff like that. I just wish it could be reciprocated.
Gotcha.
In the same way, though, you want that's your gift. You like
yes.
Gifts.
I mean, that's why that comes to me when you're doing stuff like that. It leads to the physical part.
Have you ever been gifted by someone and you didn't like the gifts?
Yes.
What did you do?
What did you do? Look at the face.
Boom. Okay.
Look at the face. What did you do?
Go ahead, Dream. Next
On the next episode of YBME.
It's out here. Okay,
Kind of one. Where you
On the
at?
next YBME, we'll find out what she did. So what's your what's your love language?
I'm definitely physical. I actually like affirmation. I like to be told. I love to hear it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm actually all 5. I have a little bit of everything and all of them. But I would say more so physical.
I think that as I've gotten older, it's changed. I'm sure when I was younger, I needed to hear it all the time. But as I'm older and especially what I'm going through now, I don't need anybody to tell me they love me. I feel like if I'm here and he's here, it's understood. And I think the gestures that we both do with each other, in front of each other, speaks volume to me personally. If somebody's affectionate with me or physical or romantic, that's going to
So when I say affirmation, I don't go based off I love you. That everyone says I love you. I'm saying we're together in a small, in an intimate setting. We're like laying out our heart and soul. Like you can look through somebody's eyes, and you know when you're in that moment, that for me is everything. You can't get it out of Gloria's. You know what I mean? You can't. You know, it's pillow talk. When you're having pillow talk, that's why I say the affirmation part.
Do you think you have, because you might have lack thereof, attracted toxic?
I think that I've looked for different types of relationships in my past. I was seeking financial stability, and sometimes making sure this person's going to be a provider, so security in a sense. That was, and then they're attractive, you know. So for me, that was way, way, way important. And then if the romance came with it, yay. But it started like that with all of them. I wasn't out there like that, but in most of my relationships started like that. And then it just turned, because you learn that, wait a minute, this is not what I signed up for. This is actually harder than I thought.
And you did sign up for it, because you got to know that when you're dealing with that type of...
I said later on, I realized this is not what I signed up for. And either I sucked it up and play my role, or I just get to step in. And
but you kept repeating the cycle. So when did you realize, okay, this is just not for you?
Well, because in some relationships, it was about the financial stability, but no personality, right? And then it's like every time I got in a relationship, they were different personalities, and I had good times with some, but then it would just get old. And so these are relationships I had for like 6 years, each person. I mean, it was long term.
Yeah.
I saw myself being with all of them long term, and then something happens where I just would feel like, no, I'm not going to be the other. Because you have to, when you're dealing with men who, and it's unfortunate, that are financially successful, you do have to, in some cases, they veer off because money buys their love, buys them attention. And just like they got me, they'll get somebody else. So either I play my position or I get to step in. And so for me, through all of them, majority of them, it became overwhelming because I just always wanted to be the only one. And in none of these relationships would I ever be that, if that makes any sense.
So in my opinion, and this is, I'm not like, this is all from, from a good place. In my mind, when you speak on that, just hearing you out loud, sometimes it's not a toxic relationship, because there are a lot of people out here, men and women, that would actually accept that behavior because it works for them. But kind of what you just said, it wasn't for you. So you have a different standard that you've developed?
Well, the toxic part comes from where your partner's constantly telling you, nobody
so the
wants
negative
you.
energy, the negative energy. Okay.
Nobody wants you. You're not shit. Okay. I made you.
Okay.
I got you from the bottom of the barrel. I mean, just constant things.
What is girl bye?
Girl, I'm saying what the types of outlashes these individuals would have because they felt superior, and then I suck it up and keep it moving. Yeah. And that happened over and over. And so it was a pattern.
Yeah.
It was a pattern. But I'm telling you, going into the next relationship, I didn't think it was going to be like the last relationship. Everybody brought something different to the table. Yep. But unfortunately, over time, you see people's true colors. I question, am I at fault? And then I would say to myself, all I want to do is just be loved. I know I'm outspoken. I know I like to have fun. Maybe it's me. Maybe I just don't know how to be submissive all the way when somebody's already hurt me.
All in.
No. Well, all in when somebody's already hurt me, because it's hard when people hurt you. It's hard to get back to that place.
Yeah, it is.
You'll never have the same G.
You'll never be all in.
And so for me, if the constant challenges in these relationships, and I know no relationship's perfect, when it got hard, I would leave.
Yeah.
I would leave, and I would leave on, unfortunately, they would always be bad terms. So
when you say when it got hard, meaning what? When the
just
financial?
Other women.
Oh, other women.
It's never been financial. I've been with people who, lost everything, and had to build back up. And I was still there. I was still the ride or die. Because I loved them.
Gotcha.
But there gets to a point when they're in a really, really deep, dark place. Even I can't help them out of it, but I become the physical, mental punching bag. And either it's going to get worse because now I'm going to fight back, or I leave.
Yeah.
And that's I mean, unfortunately, that's what I've endured. And I know it's life, but some people don't know how to handle those hard times. And for me, it's not worth it.
My thing is, and shout out to my beautiful daughter, raising a young queen, it was very important to me for her that she gets her own bag.
Yeah. Jada, we love you.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I love you, Mama. Yes.
My baby got a very high credit score. She went to the Mercedes-Benz dealership, drove it off the...
Yeah.
I mean, young.
I love
you know
it.
what I'm saying? 22 years old, driving off the lot. She's probably doing hair at this very second. But the drill for me, for all the young queens, would be to get into a space where you got your own. Therefore, you can identify that energy and be like, yeah, I'm good. I'm actually good, brother. I don't need that. So then when you got something and he got something, y'all can meet each other at the 50-yard line.
You're building a foundation together because you're both coming in with something.
But when he pulling on you and you pull, you're like, yeah, I got
it's
this.
Not gonna work.
I'm gonna save you.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the energy true. That you don't.
And a lot of women, young women who and I know Jada's beautiful, but there are some women's mentality. I was one that felt like I can just use my body and I can get what I want. It worked for a while.
And that's temporary.
No, but that's absolutely true. And so I feel like that's more or less why I made decisions or the choices I made with the men that I've been with, just because at the time, young, I was a hottie.
Yeah.
I know it's a hottie, right? I was a hottie.
I was about to
hottie. You know what I'm saying?
What were you about to say?
Norbert, you whore.
Sophie, have you had...
Yes, I definitely had my fair share. I was a stripper.
Experience
I was all
some
kind of
toxic
stuff.
relationships.
No. Oh, yeah, man. That's life. I don't know any... I mean, if you can tell me someone who has never... I mean, they're out there, I'm sure. I just haven't come across anybody who hasn't, but yes. But it goes back to... we weren't taught. You only go based off what you saw.
Learn behaviors.
And so, that wasn't something we were taught, like what to look for or anything like that. I mean, we just stayed in sports and whatnot. So I had to teach myself what love was for me. And that was while I served the military. I kept getting it wrong, kind of to what you said, G. I kept getting it wrong 2 marriages later. I, too, blame myself. Shit, I must be the common denominator. And would hear all the, who's going to want you? You got 2 kids and all the extra stuff. So I had to teach myself what love meant for me. And that was like shedding off some, what is that thing we were talking about? Shedding off some, not skin, but
Croning.
Yeah, that. Croning. And on my knees, not doing anything wrong, but praying. And just...
See, that's the only time you should be on your knees, Fee.
I know that's all the advice coming. No, I'm kidding. You don't do any of that stuff. My bad.
And my thing is, from a father's perspective, this is where we got to keep an eye on you guys. Like,
and you're speaking from a different lens. And this is why I applaud you, because we didn't have that guidance. Yeah. We didn't have a male role model in our lives. My mom was our father and our mother. Yes. She did the best that she could. Yes. And she's like, hey, I need y'all to go to college. Y'all have to play sports. Because this is your way out.
Because it's different levels, right? Yeah. So now he's talking you crazy.
Yeah.
So now after talking you crazy, he think he's gonna be able to touch you. Now if he touch you,
yeah, because you're not fighting back. Yeah,
Jada already know.
Yeah, well, good.
But she has that.
This ain't what you want.
Yeah,
I promise you.
And that's good that you're doing that. And I hope other people are watching understand that if they have a father who is protective, it might get on your nerves.
You're just a role model in that position.
Even your aunties or mom. If you have somebody that's supporting and trying to show you the ropes, they're not being, it's not that they're being overbearing. They really are loving you and teaching you about these streets, because people are mean. This world, people are so mean. They're vicious. And if they see a weak link, they will take full advantage of that, whether it's man or woman.
That's so true.
Oh, listen, we are right here live at the YBME podcast. Listen, we have a special guest on this commercial. Check it out.
Hey, you guys, thank you for tuning in. If you or anybody you know, loved one, is going through a toxic relationship, or you feel like they are and they're just not coming clean, please DM us. We've got some great counselors that would love to talk to you guys. You can DM us on Instagram at YBME Family, or even on Facebook, TikTok. Everything is YBME Family. Stay tuned the next episode.
Welcome back to the YBME podcast. We're talking about today toxic relationships. Definitely know this is a sensitive subject for a lot of people, and just like in that message, definitely reach out to the YBME Family Instagram, DM them. We definitely got counselors on standby. If you are a parent that think your child is in this situation, or if you are in this situation, you just need somebody to talk to, definitely hit the Instagram, and let's get to it. So, from the man-father perspective, I can only speak on that. I would say to identify how to get out is to I know this is easier said than done.
Yes.
But to completely close the door. I think people crack the door. They leave the door cracked. Close it. Now, I don't know how to make somebody close it. And unfortunately, people end up getting the door shut in their face, and it has to close, and that ends up somebody's in the hospital, or now somebody's somebody went to jail, but there's certain things that, it's just, I want to help people say, you know what, this is a flag on the play. Mm-hmm. I remember seeing that podcast, and it was talking about this type of thing, right? This type of thing is toxic.
Yes.
I might need to kind of yield. So I think if you catch it early.
Yeah.
Because the longer they're in there, the more invested time that they're in.
Yep.
Now it's harder. I seen this really bad video where this dude was arguing with this girl, man. Man, it was bad. And they was arguing.
No, it's real.
The girl ran out to the parking lot, and she was screaming. And this guy was on the balcony that's videotaping. And she was like, let me go, let me go, let me go. Man, the guy just... And then he did himself.
Yeah, it's real.
It's just like, golly, you know what I mean? So I want to have a solution based to this, because I know you heard it, you dealt with, from, you didn't learn these behaviors. You just end up being in the behaviors. And then how did you finally get out?
I mean, I think you just have to surround trust a good support system, whether it's, a family. I was blessed to have my sister or a girlfriend or somebody that you trust. And a lot of times, just create an exit plan, because if it's as serious as you just spoke on, that person will come look for you. Mm-hmm. So you have to be able to transition and know that, okay, this is it, right? I'm not going back. And you've got to be ready to fully let go. In some cases, I feel like you said it earlier, sometimes just completely cutting off, as hard as that is, blocking that person on your phone, so you're not seeing that person's name come through, because they're going to still try to call you. They'll give it a couple of weeks or whatever, and they'll still try to call you, or they'll show up. And so it's just really, unfortunately, you've just got to be aware and cautious, especially when it's fresh when you leave, because you don't really know the state of mind, especially when you leave suddenly. You don't know the state of mind of the other person. And then, of course, a lot of times when he or she leaves in a hostile situation, there's a lot of emotions going on in I'm sure everybody's heads. Sometimes the other person will call and say, hey, we need to talk about it. Sometimes those talks don't end well.
Right.
And so just being mindful that if somebody says they're crazy, believe them. I've heard this on Oprah before. If somebody says, oh, I'll do this to you, believe them. Yeah. There's going to be, and it's not a joke. It's just really not a joke. It's not something to play with. So
I think, and definitely shout out to all the believers out there, but I just think that I really hope that people find God, because I think it's the void.
Yes.
They're missing a void, so they're tolerating all this. They're tolerating all this abuse. Like, You don't have to deal with all that.
I think it gets to that point where you feel like you don't have anywhere to go or you don't have anybody to talk to, right? Because everybody's tired of hearing you talk about it, right? And I was there. And so when you get to that place, you're absolutely right. Pray like you've never prayed before. And just pray and pray and pray. And
so and just to piggyback on that, G, it's like this. Either you're going to die in their arms or you're going to die leaving their arms. I would rather die trying to leave their arms and know that I'd be protected by the name of Jesus than be in front of them and they allow them to continue torturing me. But again, it's building up your strength, your courage, and not looking back. Your faith. It's got to be your faith. God does not want us to go through this.
You feel like you got that. You feel like you got that strength that you have by being in the military?
No, I had it before I went to the military. It developed in a different way in the military. But I also know through my adversity, once you make that move, you don't look back. That's toxic. And then again, and it's not the one time you leave a situation or a toxic relationship, you're cured. No, it could potentially repeat the cycle if you don't give yourself enough time to build your self-love. Like, you've got to find your worth. You've got to find, hey, that shit won't ever happen to me again. And what's crazy is I said that to myself, and then I had a different type of disrespect or a different type of toxic.
Yes.
So again, it's not all those, the signs, those aren't all of them. And again, people come out, what are we doing? We're out here courting. We're trying to get in where we fit in. Meet the one for me. And when you see adversity, people show you their true colors. And it's either for you or not for you.
Yeah.
Get your ass up out of there.
I'm hearing a lot of bad comeback conversations about the dating game today.
Mm-hmm. I hear that with a lot of the guys talking about that.
They said, I got partners. It's like, bro, this is the worst. He's like, I don't understand, man. And I've never done the. Have you ever did the internet dating?
Mm-hmm. I tried it one time, but too many guys had too many shoulder shots for me.
No, I tried it one time when I was. I tried it one time, and I had the guy meet me at McDonald's. I was like 20. I was probably like right before I got married. But I was like, "Can you meet me at the McDonald's and on the east side?" And he showed up in San Antonio. Girl, and he showed up, and I was like, I said, "Well, what are you wearing?" And he says, "I'll be wearing some." When I saw this guy get out because I was parked in the cut. When I saw this person get out this car, I'm like, oh, hell no, I'm not. I was like catfished. So catfish wasn't a word back then when we were younger. But I don't know who the hell that was. I'm like, I'm not going in there.
Oh, wow.
It's just so.
So what you do, burnt off one?
Yeah, I love. I mean, so for me, I love the fact that people have found love online. I think that's really cool. I think that's so cool. I don't trust it.
Yeah, and so for me, I'm hoping that people find each other organically. Find your girl on aisle 7 at Target or something. I don't know, but
how about Starbucks?
When you say organically, I love that because
at the gym.
We all have a different scent, and when your companion is able to smell you, like I've heard that before.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. That's why when you say organic, that you can't get that on the internet.
You can't get that. And so you meeting them organically.
Oh, shout out to Mint Fitness. There's some fine guys in those classes out there.
This is brought to you by.
I understand, Brandon. If you don't let us back in, Ashley, I get
toxic relations, but I have not given up on love.
She's motivated. We'll be there tomorrow.
Hey, shout out to Mint Fitness in Cedar Hill. Y'all go check them out.
Yes, all that eye candy. That's the only reason I go. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going for the challenge.
Motivation.
It's like going to a new school and you're just like, oh my gosh, I don't know who's going to be in here, but it's been a great turnout.
It sure has, hasn't it?
Yeah, listen. So also, you guys, for what could y'all tell the young ladies out here? When it starts to even kind of get physical. What's some signs?
Well, you want to go with your daughters?
Well, yeah. I just try to instill in my daughters self-love first. and because could have potentially had toxic situations or relationships or friendships before. They're 23, 21. And so love hard, love with everything you got, but don't let someone take advantage of your love. And if it's not being reciprocated, it's time to go.
Yeah.
But you won't see anyone's true colors until you see adversity.
You have to go through something.
Yeah. So when we're talking about, people get so caught up in it because they've been there for so long, maybe there just wasn't so much, there wasn't adversity, But I'm telling you, you will see. You'll see it happen. And then unfortunately, it is scary to get out of that. Because you're like, dang, that's what it could be a female or a male. Like, oh, dang, that's what they're up to. That's what they do.
It's like, for me, the way I was with my mom, like, how can she tell me how to do A, B, and C when, I saw a different side of her, right? So I honestly did not feel comfortable having these kind of conversations. My daughter's very strong, but she's aware of a lot of the stuff that I've gone through. And so I know most recently we had a conversation and the thing she shared with me of how much she loved me and she felt just how she felt about me was very inspiring coming from my daughter because I didn't know. And so I love my daughter. My daughter is so freaking strong. She's got an amazing father that, similar to you, he's not going to take no shit. He's like, what do you want? He's that dude that's going to be like, what do you want me to do? Right. Just tell me what you want to do, because at the end of the day, we all want her happy. But my daughter, just honestly, just young women, the things I know now, I wish I knew then. Your faith, your strength, and to your point, do for yourself and not for anybody else. Love yourself first. Because at the end of the day, when you start putting yourself in relationships to be a trophy girlfriend or a trophy wife, it's not going to get any better. That's what you are. Yeah. That's what you have become. Yeah. And there's no I in this. You're going to be walking in somebody's shadow the whole time. You cannot create your own personality. You have to. Yeah. So anyhow, just stay true to yourself, stay strong, get your own paper, love yourself, get your education, get out there and make that money, honey. When you're ready to settle down, let that be on your terms. Because at the end of the day, you have to be somebody that can bring something to the table. Yeah. That's really what you've got to be able to hold your own.
I will add to that. And we're never old enough to learn from others, especially the younger generation. And I say that to my daughter is her and her boo, her baby, her guy. They are something special to be around. The love, it's, I don't want to say it's sickening, but it's so sweet. It's so like puppy love. I'm like, dang, y'all in what, 2 years, 3 years, and they're still going strong. And and that's why I say when we talk about toxic and those signs and things like that, I don't think that's all for everyone, and it's all case by case type thing. But
people can say the same thing about your relationship. It's not the norm, but it is so special.
To that point, my guy understands me, and he is very patient, and my goodness, he's an amazing person. As I see my daughter, and I didn't know that stuff existed. Carter's a love I've never known. The way that he loves me, the way that we communicate, he's my best friend. So to see my daughter go, it's a beautiful thing. And so with my other daughter, I'm like, girl, no, don't force it. Yeah. Be with your best friend. Be with your best friend. And so if I could say, I would say that start as friends, and if it becomes your best friend,
be a friend.
Then first. Sometimes you guys get to that part where like, I don't want to lose that person as my best friend. If we take it to the next level, you just have to then, is it worth it?
Right. Don't go too fast.
Yeah, no.
Don't go too fast.
If it's supposed to be que sera, what's meant to be is going to be, love. Just go with it.
I love it. Trust the process, man.
Trust the process.
This has been a great episode, man. Yeah. I think hopefully everybody got good value from this. Shout out to the fathers out there.
Yes.
The amazing mothers out there.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yep.
For the Fiji twins for sharing with us
yes.
On this, journey of, just life, because I think we have identified some things today. Mm-hmm. You don't know.
You don't know.
Like, dang, am I in the toxic? Is Fee really toxic?
Mm-mm.
No, she's not.
No. On Wednesdays, we got to walk around eggshells. I'm just kidding.
I think Wacky Wednesday. My bad.
Submit.
No. So yeah, we're gonna have to erase all. Every time you said submit today, you're gonna have to erase that. You're gonna have to edit that part off here.
All right, y'all. This is the YBME podcast, and we thank you guys for sharing, and subscribing. Check us out on the next episode.
Yes. Yay. Bye.